Hey guys, good morning. It's Dave Santarelli from Breaking Chart Alerts. Guys, I just wanted to go over. We got a few minutes till opening bell here. It's 9:26. We got about 4 minutes.
Shares popping to a high 695, 38 cents.
Let's go over some of our trades here. We're working on getting that new text alert system figured out, but you guys are going to be getting regular text now today on any trades here. But we got a few big trades here on Ford. First off, we have the 14-15 vertical spread. That's max gains right there. Then we also have the September 17th 15 strike call on Ford, and we have a pretty decent sized trade on that. We're already up 53% on that trade, 54% on that trade. We're going to continue. Let me add that to the columns here up top here. Percent gain. Okay, there we go. So we're actually up on that Ford trade, 54.31% on that right now. So what I'm going to be looking at, guys, is possibly locking in some Ford if she gets up to about $17 today. I was thinking about locking in some Ford, or we could be doing some day trades on Ford. You know, so it's Day Trade Friday today. I definitely want to find some good setups there. Good morning, Kevin. I definitely want to find some good setups here. So Ford is looking good. Let's go down the watch list here quick. We're waiting on that Chronos trade here as well that we're in. That one's getting a nice pop here in the morning. So if that continues to break higher, that'll look pretty good later here. That PEI we picked up shares of. Starting to climb again. You know, had a big breakout, possible retracement back down to support before that next breakout. That's shares, so we have no expiration on those. Let's see what the cruise lines are doing here today. American Airlines is continuing to look good. Here's American Airlines continuing to climb off that 10-day simple moving average in the entire breakout momentum cycle here. That's looking good. Let's see what Delta's doing. Delta's finally getting that climb off that 20-day simple moving average, guys. You know our trade plan, and we're getting a nice breakout there off of that. Let's see here. 2 more minutes until opening bell. Let's go over Baidu, see what Baidu is doing here. Baidu doing the same thing, starting to get a climb off that 20-day. We're going to watch that today, see what that does. And let's see here, what else are we in? Apple, let's see what Apple's doing here. Apple's starting to get a little climb here, but it's really not moving as much as I wanted it to. So we'll look and see what we want to do with Apple there. Square's getting a climb today here as well. CCL. You guys know we got some large trades on CCL, and Carnival Cruise Line's breaking out once again here, up 0.85%. I'm looking over here on the most active stocks and the largest percent movers over here. So, you know, we picked up a few nice trades off of these. So, we're going to continue to watch this today. What do you call it here? Where's she? BlackBerry here. That's up, what, $16. You know, that was just a few bucks a few days ago there. We've been watching that quite a bit. Tilray's up above $20 again. If we take a look at Tilray here, look at that chart on Tilray. Now, here was that 1020 cross on Tilray. Let me make that a little larger there for you. So here's that 1020 cross we were talking about. Possible entry with momentum shifting. The MACD already shifted there. So you can see there was a clear breakout here as momentum was shifting from that breakdown momentum cycle into breakout momentum. You know, so it's really important here to watch now. Now, what could you be looking at for that next target? Well, it really does look like 30 could be that good target you could be looking out for maybe like the next 6 to 12 months. I like to look at, see how long it took for it to get down to that level. And if you could see here, this is from March of, this is from March of 2021. So March to, May, March, April, May, just 2 months there, it took to go from $30 all the way down to $13. So now that we're in that breakout momentum cycle, I think that resistance of $30 is going to be a nice, easy target that Tilray could be hitting. But like I said, there's a big difference between short-term day trades, or short-term trades that are less than a month out compared to one like this that you're going to want to get that 3 to 6 months out till Expo. So that's what I'd be looking for, is 3 to 6 months out till Expo for that 30 strike. and that's going to be that R1 area, that resistance area, which is going to be that target profit area. So that's what I'd be looking for. The MACD's crossed. We got green bars above the zero line on the MACD histogram. Looks really great there. Looks solid. Here we are for today. Let me just get this up here. Here's our trades today. Express down about $250. The short leg of Ford is down. That's because Ford is up. So those long legs there, you know, the 145 and 420, those are looking great. PayPal is continuing to climb and break out there. Let's take a look at PayPal. Let's see. Airbnb is finally starting to get a climb again here today. That one was pretty nasty yesterday. That pulled back quite a bit. Let's see. A, B, and B. That 1020 cross just came up now. There's that MACD cross. Green bars above the zero line on the histogram. That's showing us a nice momentum shift here. So I like that setup going out for, you know, July or August Expo. I really think that's going to hit that 170, possibly even 180. And then if they continue to say, hey, we got record, you know, travelers out and things like that, I think she could possibly hit 190. You know, that's a nice setup there on Airbnb for a nice swing trade. Now, we were up, what were we up before? We were up $1,700 for the day there. Now we're up about $2,600. I like seeing what's leading the way here because, you know, that usually tells you that's a pretty decent opportunity for a day trade there. So let's see. PayPal's looking good. Ford is continuing to break higher there. Carnival Cruise Line. Airbnb is ripping higher. So let's take a look at Airbnb. It's looking pretty good. Anything over here? AMC, that's up about 5% today. Look at that, 54 bucks. How many of you guys captured some gains on Airbnb? Remember when we bought it at 14 bucks? Man, if we had those regular calls all the way up there, that'd probably be over a 10,000% return. We got in before the IV popped. Airbnb still on the climb.
Study of NGM 707 as monotherapy and in combination with pembrolizumab in advance for metastatic solid tumor malignancies. Posted to clinical trials website. Study is not yet recruiting. That's November. Golf Michael NGM.
I'm looking at Kronos at 891. We picked up a trade on that off the Nigerian brothers. Hopefully it pays off. Let's see here. What else do we have moving? PayPal's having a nice little move here. Let's take a look at PYPL. PayPal 261. Now see, here's a nice example of a breakout momentum, guys. Take a look. I'm going to zoom in on this chart. Notice how we had that breakout here, right? We had the, see it down here, the MACD, the histogram here. You know, that's showing us a breakdown. We finally got a momentum shift. Here was the crossover, the MACD. Here was the 1020 crossover. Right? We have that momentum. We had that nice climb here, right? Then what happened? We consolidated and pulled back down to that 10. That was acting as support there. Now, PayPal's getting a big candle. This is a daily chart right here on PayPal. So we're getting a nice breakout off this 10-day simple moving average. That's a big sign going forward here. Looking for a swing trade, maybe for that July expiration on PayPal. that we could be looking for possibly that 275 target that goes back here down to that resistance area. So that's a really nice breakout there, and that's exactly what we're looking for. And what do we have as a catalyst now on PayPal to move that forward? Well, we have summertime coming. You guys just heard about the record travel numbers. Businesses are bringing in more money than expected for the holiday season, Memorial Day. So we're hearing all good numbers come out. You guys heard the numbers that came out this morning. That's lifting the market pretty nicely. Dow's up about 120, Nasdaq's up 110, and S&P's up a little over 23 points here. So we're getting a nice breakout here, and all this is because of the positive news with COVID. Numbers dropping, and then like I said, we got record sales, retail sales. Businesses needed that from that lockdown, and that's what we're seeing now. So as transactions continue to climb, PayPal is going to see more revenue. And what's that mean overall? Well, if their customers are actually seeing customers getting those transactions swiped, PayPal gets those fees. So obviously you got to put everything together here and say, okay, well, next quarter, PayPal's probably going to have a nice beat on those earnings. Because if you remember going back when we were talking about this, they revised their earnings way down, to numbers that they didn't even think anything was going to beat. Let me see. You guys could hear me, right? Someone said, is the audio working? Okay, so yeah. So that's what you have to remember and keep in mind here. So we're getting that nice breakout on PayPal. Now we're up about $3,000 for the day here. Kronos is still continuing to climb. But this is where, guys, I wanted to go over with you. This is where you're looking for that swing trade. That short term. You guys know how now? I taught you guys how to find those longer term trade setups, right? Now these shorter term trade setups, what you're looking for is that bounce off of support there, right off that 10-day simple moving average. Now you could get something about 30 days out till Expo. Look for that July Expo. What would you target? Well, where's your next resistance area? That's going to be right around 270. So that's a $9 move basically to that target. So we could calculate with options here. Okay, if we expect, now we're up a little bit more here. So before we were up $2,600 for the day. Now we're up $3,200 for the day here. So we're having a nice run here, and you can see Airbnb is leading that run. Airbnb, and then look at Ford. Ford's still continuing to go. PayPal going. Airbnb. Carnival Cruise Line. Getting a nice little breakout here. Now we're actually up even more. We were up 32 there. Now we're up almost 3,700 here. So you guys see, it's like a process, You just got to know when to enter and when to add to these trades. We're still continuing to climb up 3,800 now. Just continues to climb here. It's looking good. There we go, 39. Let's see the 40 break. There we go. Oh. There we go. Now we're up over 4,000 for the day. So you see how volatile these options are. Efren, Mike Rinkowski's there on YouTube. If you want to reach out to him. What's going on, Mike? How have you been? So you guys see the process here. So we got these trades on Airbnb that are going out to that July Expo. Why? More people are traveling. People want to get out after they were in from COVID. So that's a good one. PayPal's continuing to break higher here. Now we're up $4,300 for the day. I mean, you guys see that just continuing to climb here. So, you know, those days where you get that little pullback down to support there, yeah, you have to understand, you know, that's normal to pull back a little bit, get down to that support. Those days you're probably going to see a 20-30% pullback. Look at Ford continuing to break out. Guys, we're up 76% on our Ford trade. Hey, Mike, Tyler Cummings said, what's up? He remembers, yeah. Guys, look at our Ford trade. Our Ford trade's up. Our Ford trade is up, what, 76% now. Are you guys still in Ford? Or did you guys sell yesterday? James said he got out yesterday. How many of you guys are still holding that Ford trade? Skyjack still in Ford. Oh, Tyler, I didn't know that. He said Mike is a dent repair guy too. Lives out in the big Texas. Nice.
ATOS, Atosis Therapeutics, July $9 call sweep, currently at $4.79 at the high, up about 8%. Alpha Tango Oscar Sandy, ATOS.
Got some nice gains here today, guys. Let's see, Airbnb. Airbnb, to me, looks like she's going to hit a 150 today. You know, that's one we could possibly make a nice little day trade with. That 3-month daily, you know, that was, we're seeing larger candles. That's how I'm saying, you know, that 150. Because when you trade side by side, guys, you know, if you guys watch the videos we have in the education tab, I go over this in detail. I know they're long videos, 2 hours, but I like going over this type of stuff. So when you see those larger candles, more volume coming in there, usually you pretty much match those candles each day. So that's why I'm saying I think there's a shot we could get up to that 150. If we get up to that 150, we could utilize a strategy called a butterfly. You know, that's when a stock pins at a certain number. So if we come down here, right, and we look at, let's say, Airbnb. Let's see, is Delta on the climb today? I'll take a look at Delta here in a minute. I don't see it on the list there. Well, Blackberry's down a bit. All right, let me get back to this now. So a butterfly, if we look at a butterfly here, and we thought it was going to pin at that 150 today, we do the 149, won't let us do the 150. Let's see, 148, 150. Probably gonna make me do that 145. Now, see, here's the cool thing about this, guys. This butterfly, it's going for $1.81 right now, right? So if you think a stock is gonna pin at that, like I said, that 150 in the chart in the background there, you know, the max you can make is the difference between these two numbers right here. So 145 to 150, that's $5, right? And all this is, it's called a butterfly because here's the wings and here's the body. Okay, so the body, out the middle contract always has double the amount of contracts than the first one. Okay, so all you're doing is you're buying a call for 145. You're selling double the amount of calls. You're selling 2 contracts at the 150. Because remember, That 150, you think that's where the stock is going to get to and not go any higher than or lower than. You know, it's called pinning. So that's what you're looking for with this butterfly. So if this stock pins, it's at 147.38 right now. If that pins at 150, now this is a much higher risk trade. You got to remember that. This is a higher risk trade, but the rewards are usually pretty large. So if you look at this and it pins at 150 today, it could be worth $5. Right now, the midpoint of it, let's say it's going for $1.84 there. So 5, divide that by 1.84. That's 172% gain. You know, 172% gain, that's not too shabby right there. You know, and that's with it just getting back up to that resistance that we were talking about. So if we go back here and clear this out, and you guys take a look at this, you know, that 150, if I zoom in here, you can see that 150 has been acting as what? Resistance. So if we're still continuing to climb and we see the Dow now up 107 points, NASDAQ's leading the way here, up 144, up 1.06%, S&P's up about 0.61%. So we're still continuing to climb for the day. So that's what I'm saying here. If you look at these resistance from when you're in consolidation area like we have been for the past 2 days here, we're still in breakout momentum, but we're just consolidating here, right? So if this continues that breakout and it gets to that 150, you know, that different strategy I just went over, that butterfly, that's an option there to make a much larger return, because you could say, okay, this is where I think the stock's going to go to. Like if you're playing the lottery, just think you have to get that 150 number right for that max gain. Now, you still make money anywhere between the two, let's say right here. So going back to this here, you know, where is it at right now? Let me put it on this side. Let me get rid of this. Make that a little smaller. Okay, so she's still continuing to climb and break out. I got like a $2,000 profit on Airbnb alone today after that pullback yesterday. But when we get up to that 150, right, this is going for $1.92 now. Remember, it was just $1.84, so you could have just made a nice profit like that. But okay, so 145 to 150, $5 is the max that could be worth. What's your break even? 145 plus $1.94. 145 plus 1.94. So at 146.94 is where you break even if we're saying if this expired at that price. So at 146.94 you broke even. Anything above 146.94, that's where you're starting to make that profit at. So, you know, your max profit's going to be above 150. Anything higher than 150, that profit of whatever we said, 271%, whatever it was, then it starts to decline a bit until it's worthless. It's totally worthless, you know, below or above 155. And then 150 plus 150 plus 1.84, like we said before. Anything above 150, 184, it's worthless. So between that 150, 184 and that 146.84, that's where you have a profit area. So that's where you're going to be profiting on that butterfly. So it's really neat when you can find some of these strategies that you say, okay, Airbnb looks like she's going to head up to that 150, and you could utilize that. Ford pulled back a bit. Let's take a look at Ford here. Ford just got up to 1650, pulled back about 40 cents there. Let's see if she could hold that 50, start that climb again. I'm looking over here on the market movers list, percent stock gainers, most active stocks. You know, this is where we could find a lot of those. Let's see, Karen said space. Sergi said his E-Trade is glitching. Delta's up today, holding that 20. PayPal's still breaking out nicely.
USWS, US Well Services, says on June.
PayPal looks ready for a much larger breakout here, guys. A much larger breakout coming on PayPal. Anyone still in that PayPal July 16, 270 call?
US Well Services says expects that judgment amount will be material. US Well Services says intends to appeal the final judgment after it has been entered by the court. That's Uniform Sandy Whiskey Sandy. USWS, that is in an 8K filing from the company. Uniform Sandy Whiskey Sandy. RBLX Roblox big call trade here. Romeo Bravo Lima X-ray June 120 call. 4,000 contracts on RBLX, Romeo Bravo Lima X-ray. Currently on 101.18, that's RBLX.
Guys, are you guys still in the Ford trade?
Also now the weekly 105 call sweep in Roblox, RBLX.
$63% gain on that Ford call. We picked up the Ford September 17th 15 strike call at an average price of $1.44. So we got a nice 63% gain on that now, 64. I don't want to see that fail at that 10.
June 51 call sweep, 2,000 contracts on Uber, UBER.
Uber, they're picking up some calls. Let's take a look at Uber quick.
Currently at 49.51 for Uniform Bravo Echo Romeo, UBER.
Now see how Uber's coming down to that 20 support? Starting to hold, and now what do you got as a catalyst? You know, I mean, they got a stimulus or some type of thing out that they're increasing their rates by 2 or 3 times. Guys, I got a question for you. So one of our neighbors actually, one of their wives does Uber, right? Take a guess how much they make a week working 50 hours a week. You're not going to believe this. I don't know if this is just Orlando area here. We're in a nicer area here in Orlando. But take a guess what she makes a week on Uber, on driving for Uber Eats. I don't know which one it is, but take a guess. She's doing about $1,600 a week. That's insane.
Coming up at 10 factory orders minus 0.2% expected. Also durables X defense for April.
I'm debating if I want to lock in that 60% gain on Ford. See how she's at the lows of the day? This is telling me that she might pull back down to that 15 before breaking higher again. And I certainly wouldn't want to give up that 60% gain that we got like a $3,500 profit on right now. So I'm going to sell this Ford here, those 40 contracts. I'm going to try selling it for, let's see if I could get it for 2.26. There we go. I'm out of it, guys. I sold it, out of it. And I locked in a nice gain on that Ford trade. We're out at $2.26. Out at $2.26. Sold Ford. Ephraim, what were we in that trade for? Yeah, the regular calls. Yep. $1.44. We sold for 226. 2.26. Divide that by 1.44. 57% gain. That was a nice one, guys.
Group representing Amazon, newspapers, eBay, greeting card companies, opposing the planned U.S. Postal Service price hikes that in a letter to Congress.
Nice day. Man, it is June 4th already. Where is this month going? So here is the game we just locked in on the Ford trade. There we go. All right, so that was today's date. This Ford trade, you guys remember why we got into this trade. So now what's really important, I'm trying to give you guys these little lessons as we go along. I'm watching the account continue to take off here. We're getting a nice run going. But as I'm saying here, guys, you know, there's certain trades that do better than others. So it's nice to go over these and analyze them and say, okay, why did this trade do better than the other trade, and vice versa here. So, you know, when we're looking at this trade here, we entered into this trade just the other day, right? It was what, 5 point, what was it? I forget what we paid. What did he say there? We had a 57% gain on this trade, though. That was a nice short little swing trade there that just made us $3,238.77. So when we wait for these right setups, guys, for these shorter term trades, we take advantage of them. Why did we just sell out Ford now? Well, you know, I don't know if she's going to continue to run today, but by the looks of this candle right here, she's way off the highs of the day, 1650. So I don't want to take that chance of retracing back down on that 10-day simple moving average. You guys know the types of loss you'll have as you continue to retrace back down to support there, right?
April factory orders minus 0.6%, consensus minus 0.2%.
So as you continue to retrace, you know, why hold on to that position? I could lock in profits near the top here if this is the peak before that retracement, and then once we get a bounce off that support, then I could re-enter into that trade. That's really important to know that and understand that there. Let's see if the high short interest is working today. There we go. Workhorse, they got it up and running again here. So take a look here. Workhorse, Bed Bath & Beyond, Blink charging. Beyond Meat, Space. So Workhorse, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Blink. Those would be the top three I'd be looking for a short squeeze. Now see how Ford's continuing to retrace there? I'm glad I locked that in. PayPal's still on the run here, guys. You know, that might be a good day trade setup here. She might get right back up to about 264 to 265 today. PayPal is still running here, guys. Look at that breakout on PayPal. We got a pretty big trade on PayPal, so we're watching that continue to break out here. Up $800 on that PayPal trade for the day. But that was a nice trade right there, that 57% gain on that Ford. I mean, you make a trade like that once a week there, I mean, you're set. That's why it's important to be disciplined and wait for those good setups. There goes PayPal, still running there. We're up $900 now for the day on PayPal. Guys, remember today's class. We got a class today, fundamental analysis. Let's see what our Airbnb trade's doing here. Our Airbnb is looking good. Nice job, Ephraim. Ephraim's on top of everything today. Quicker than I say it, he's already got it out in the trade room on YouTube there. Nice job, buddy. Let's see. I want to do an Airbnb trade, but I want to wait for it to break that consolidation, that resistance we're seeing right around that 147.50 to 148. I'm also looking over here on the market movers list to see if there's anything jumping out on me on here that we could possibly take advantage of. Apple looks like it's starting to get a run. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple's having a nice breakout today, up 1.5%, getting right up to that 10 again. You know, we might start get that run that we were talking about still. We got to watch that. Because if we do start to break that 10, 20-day simple moving average, that's probably where I'm going to do short-term weekly on some Apple calls. PayPal still running. Square's running nicely. Ford continued to pull back there, so that was nice where we took in profits. Because guys, like I was saying here, you know how it usually is. You know, usually you get this candle, you know, you're at the top, and then all of a sudden you pull back, you close at the lows, and the next day you'll come back down and test out right around 15 bucks, and then, you know, before you know it, you're at that 14.50. So why give up that $3,238.77 gain that we just locked in on that Ford trade? Why give that up, you know, and wait for that breakout? You know, I'd much rather lock in near the top there, lock in those profits, and then wait for that next breakout before entering again. Apple's getting right up to that 10-day simple moving average. If she gets up to that 20 today, I'll be looking for a breakout next week on her. Oh, let's see here. Airbnb, PayPal. You guys see anything else moving? I think Karen said space was moving, right? Let's see Virgin Galactic. That's having a nice little climb there. I think that's going to continue to break out over the summer months here. That's a nice longer term setup. Got some messages on Zoom I didn't see. There we go. Let me put that over here by the trade room so I can see what you guys are saying in there. Sergi got 20% gain on a SPY put. He got out of Ford, got a SPY put for today as a hedge. Nice job, Sergi. Surge was up 85% on that Ford trade we had. Nice job. M. Gent said he sold his Ford yesterday. So that's why we sold the Ford, guys. And it's a really nice when you can lock in those nice profits before that pullback there. You know, if she doesn't have a pullback and she starts to climb again, then we'll just re-enter into another trade. But I'd rather wait until we get that retracement before entering into another trade. Airbnb is still breaking higher here, so let's take a look at that. Airbnb is starting to break that resistance here from that 950 candle. Karen said Rocket's starting to move. Rocket's got a nice candle there, Karen. Up 2.75%. I think this is going to continue to break out. We have the September 17th. How large of a trade do I have on that? I only got about a $4,700 trade on that. I think I might double it. I like that setup. I really wanted to wait, though, until we break that 50. If we get that, you know, green candle with that body above that 50, that's only at what, $20 and what, 50 cents, 70 cents there. So if we get that, I'll be targeting at least 23 to 24, you know, and that could be a really nice gain for us there if we look for that swing trade for probably about 2 months out. I'd probably pick up the September Expo on a rocket trade. Well, we already have the September 17th, so that's what we picked up. 1989 call. 1989. Such a weird, that's actually an adjusted splitted option there. Palantir's starting to climb. Let's see what PLTR's doing. Are you guys still in that PLTR? I know a lot of people in the trade room were trading Palantir. Just not I got in with you guys that one day. I made a quick 500 bucks on it, but I didn't hold it. I think I sold it right on the second there. But, you know, that daily chart looks great. I mean, that looks like that's going to continue to break higher. I'd be looking at that, you know, if it's short term at 25 to 26 area, and then if you got it for a little bit further out, I'd be looking for that 30. We had a nice gain on Carnival Cruise Line today, and that pulled back a little bit. Skyjack's still in Palantir. Let's see, Karen, are you in that too? I thought you were in Palantir. Shares, okay. Tilray pulled back from that $20. See how things are starting to pull back here at Tilray now? You know, below previous candle's body. So you could be looking at that 1750 as that retracement area before it possibly breaks higher again. That's what I'd be looking for. Dow's up 110 points, Nasdaq's up 161, and S&P's up over 26 points. Nice continued climb today. Is this at Joanne Fabrics or Joan Fabrics? Does anyone know? Just had its IPO. Let's see. Yeah, that's that fabric store.
S&P 500 futures marking a new session high at 42.19 just a couple minutes ago, up 0.6% for the session.
SPY at new highs of the day. Apple's having a nice day. Yeah, they're up quite a bit today. There, Jack.
Fed President Loretta Mester currently making some comments recently saying she wants the Fed to be deliberately patient with monetary policy.
Was thinking about picking up something on that for a swing trade, you know? Let's see what the options look like. If we go out to the August Expo, there is literally not much open interest or volume on those.
Tapestry ticker Tango Papa Romeo shares marking a new session low here, down about 3%, 41.11 new session low in Tapestry. That's ticker Tango Papa
Nvidia
Romeo.
is still climbing. Yeah, I'm watching Delta above there, 45.77. Think we got to get rid of that Chronos too. Not doing much. Efren, I'm selling Chronos in the trade challenge account there at 3 cents. Out of that at 3 cents. post a picture for you guys in the trade room.
Cleveland Fed President Messer saying that some valuations in the stock market look higher than can be supported by fundamentals, but notes that Fed policy is not driving that sentiment.
Took a loss on that Cron trade. It wasn't moving. I wanted to get out of that before it was worthless. Yeah, Skyjack, you got out yesterday at a good time. If I saw that pop there, I would have sold yesterday too. James said he got out in the green too. Nice job, guys. You guys got out yesterday at that high. That was a good one. Tesla, let's see Tesla. Let's see what else do we got. Diagnostics and research. Semiconductors are doing pretty well. Let's take a look at AMD. I've been talking to you guys about AMD for a while. That had a big upgrade lately, right? So shares are at 81.30, consolidating a little. It already had that 1020 crossover, right? I already had the MACD cross. I want to first go to research, analyst research and reports. I want to see what it's saying about AMD because I know that just had a recent big upgrade. I think to like $100, maybe 90. $105 target on AMD. High side 135, low side 70. So she's only at 81 right now. This is one that, I feel, we can make a larger trade in and look for that bigger breakout there. I really do like this setup, and I think I'm going to make that trade. I think I'm going to make about a $10,000 trade on this one here. I like that setup. AMD. This is going to be an official main account trade here. Let's see. So that 85. Let's see. I'd want to go out at least. Let's see. It's June. I like that October Expo. Let's see the 80 strike. So you got a first off you want to look at is that spread between the bid and the ask. Because if it was like $6 by $9, there's no way in heck you want to be going for something like that. So let's see here, 550 by 565, 560 by 570. That's a good one there. So you need that at, just about 88 bucks, $89 to break even. 89 plus 8. Need that at about 97 for 100% return. Well, you know what? We could do something like a vertical spread, right? So we could do a paycheck trade if we want. Go with that July 16th expo and do an in-the-money vertical spread. That'll make us a larger gain. What do you guys think about that? I think we can make a nice trade here. Let's see where that resistance is going to be. Right at about 82.50. So we could go with that July 16th, get that 82.50. That's going for $1.23 to be worth $2.50. That's going to be a nice one there if she gets up to that 82.50 from now till then. Or we could do something more in the money like the 77.50.80. This is a much lower risk trade. $1.55 to be worth $2.50. 2.5 divide that by 1.55. That's still a 61% gain there. Let's see when AMD reports some earnings here. AMD earnings are on July 26th. We got out of Ford at the perfect time. Did you guys get out of Ford? Let's see. Is the market dropping here? If it's dropping, we don't want to get into the trade yet. Pulling back a little bit here from those highs. And that's why I told you, when you're looking at those charts there, wow, look at that pullback on Ford. We got out of that when she was what, right around 630, 620? No, 609. 609 it was at.
Very heavy volume here, hitting the intraday
Let's
high,
see.
$2.92, 297 earlier in the pre-market for WINT, as Oppenheimer initiated with a outperform rating at $8 price target, Whiskey India November Tango.
Let's see. Maria Riccardi says the audio is very poor. Are you guys having any issues with the audio? Any issues with the audio, guys?
And WINT now popping to the high of $2.98, Whiskey India November Tango.
No, everyone's saying it's loud and clear. Okay, so Ford, that was a nice exit. What was our trade on Ford? Let's see what we sold it for there. I know we sold it for what, like $1.44? Let me just go to the order status here. We sold it at $9.55.
LODE, Comstock Mining, getting a pop here, Lima Oscar Delta Echo, LODE, on heavy volume.
$9.55. We sold it right here, and that was nice. It consolidated a little bit, pulled back, got up to that 1620, pulled right back. So let's see. Ford, September 17th, 15 call. She's at 215 now. We sold it at 226. Nice. And that was 40 contracts. You know, so that's like, that's $400 we would have been down on that. So that's what I like to do. When you're looking at that daily chart and you see that big pullback, especially now when it's red. You know, I mean, look at when you get to those peaks over here. And then you, like right here, you got to that peak, you have a red candle, you pull back. Peak, that big red candle after reaching those highs, and you pull back. You know, and then here, peak at the highs, and then you're pulling back. You know, here, yeah, we're at the peak, you pulled back. And now, it's not uncommon to think you could see a retracement back down to $15 on Ford before she starts to climb again. So that was really great, taking in and locking in those profits on Ford. That was perfect timing doing that there. So you're seeing, as we go along here, we're taking profits when we see the right opportunity to take profits, resulting in large gains. I mean, look at that. This trade cost $5,700. We were able to sell it for $9,000, locking in a $3,238 profit. That's not too bad there. And that's on those solid trade setups that we see, going based off market conditions. We heard the sales. We heard the numbers coming out for General Motors, for Ford. They were great numbers. So we got that big pop. We took advantage of it. And we made a few thousand. Now we're just waiting for these other ones like Airbnb. We have the July Expo on that. This just got that 1020 cross. I'm waiting for that larger breakout. Now, how many days do we have? What's the difference from now until July 16th? We got what? A month and a half until expiration. So take a look what it just did here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days. 4 trading days, it went from 134 all the way up to 153 just about. So, it's going to have that larger move over the course of the time. That's why it's important to find out and pick out those right expiration dates. Too many people get short-term expiration dates, and that's what's really going to kill that account there if you have that retracement during that expiration period, that shorter-term expo.
RIDE, Lordstown Motors, January 2023 calls active now. January 2023 $40 calls active now on Lordstown Motors, RIDE, Romeo India Delta Echo.
That's a nice breakout stock here, Mossy. Mossy's Inc. Let's see, what are they? They do some type of special chips. Nice website I'm looking at that they have. Guys, that actually looks like a pretty good company, actually. Palantir's still climbing. It's starting to get a nice little breakout. I'm looking for a good day trade here. If you guys see anything, let me know. Everything's pretty flat right now. Palantir's starting to climb though. Let's see what we could get. Are you guys still in that forward spread? Let's see what that's going for now, since that's way out of the money there. What expo? August 20th. Ephraim, what do we pay for that? Do you know? Yeah, I could just actually look up here. Let me see. 1.71 minus, let's see, 1.71 minus 1.2, 51 cents.
AREC, American Resources.
So we paid 51 cents for that. It's going for 65.
Romeo Echo Charlie.
That's about a 28% return right now. You know, do you want to lock in that 28% return, or do you want to wait for another, you know, what, 60% on that? I don't think it's going to pull back down to 15. I think that's going to be the support area for it. So you could hold on to that if you want to wait for the max gains on it. But if you wanted to lock it in now, you could lock in about a 28% gain on that. And then you could certainly utilize those funds somewhere else. I'm watching Palantir here. That one's starting to get a climb. Trying to see if we could find anything else breaking out nicely. Petrobras is still on the run. Let's see. Apollo was in Marathon Oil. What's that doing here today? Oh, Marathon's down a little bit today, consolidating the past couple of days. Let's see. PBR. Petrobras. Look at that breakout. Still at new highs here. Going all the way back to January of 2021. I remember that pull back down to that 7. And if you look out further here, you know, I mean, that could easily take out that 17. We called this, though, way back when she was at about $9. I think on this candle right here on 5-7. That was a massive breakout. Should have held on to that one a little bit longer, too. Guys, I just want to give you guys our office number here, too, if anyone wants to ever call the office. That's the office number there. PayPal, Rocket. Let's see what Rocket's doing. Maybe I could add to Rocket. That Rocket's going to be a nice breakout there once she could break above that 50-day simple moving average.
President Biden about to speak shortly.
Biden's going to be talking shortly here. Let's see what DocuSign's doing. They raised their price target to 288. That had a big upgrade today by Citigroup. A lot of them raised their targets. 295, 260, 288, 215. Oppenheimer upgraded or lowers their price target to 260. So that's why you're seeing that breakout there. Got a nice climb coming again here. Airbnb starting to run again. So you guys see how Airbnb, that resistance for today, right around that 147.60 area, right? I mean, she's been struggling with that all morning here. So if she does break that area, that's where I'm going to be looking for that 150 target. We still got the account climbing nicely there. Microsoft looks ready for another nice climb there. PayPal's starting to run again.
ADMN, Kilo Delta Mike in November, Mizuho out with a positive note, $13 price target. Said the ESCO posted presentation for KD033 was just released. Kilo Delta Michael in November. Headline shares getting a pop here, $3.93.
Here's Biden, guys. I'm going to listen to Biden here.
Unemployment rate fell to 5.8%, and wages went up for American workers. That means we have now created over 2 million jobs in total since I took office. More jobs than ever been created in the first 4 months of any presidency in modern history. Triple the rate of my predecessor,
President
8
Biden
times the
says
rate of President
May
Reagan.
jobs report show signs of progress in the U.S. economy.
Good news for the market. Market's going to like how he's talking.
First time in 14 months, we saw the largest decline in the number of long-term unemployed more than an entire decade, the last 10 years. Long-term unemployment dropped by the second largest amount ever recorded. Not only that, but the signs of further progress are already here. This report is based on a week in early May. That's how they determine the job growth or loss. We have growth, and that week in May, we only had 35% of working age adults have been fully vaccinated. Now they were still all wearing masks. Since then, 21 million more adults have gotten vaccinated, making it easy for them to return to work safely. In short, this is progress, historic progress. Progress is pulling our economy out of the worst crisis it's been in 100 years. And it's testament to the new strategy. There's a growing this economy, not only growing it, but growing from the bottom up and the middle out. Remember, when I took office in January, our economy was in a tailspin. Job growth had stalled. COVID was raging. Average initial claims for unemployment insurance were over 830,000 per week. Now those claims have fallen below 430,000, about half of what they were when I took office. Before I took office, almost 24 million Americans were going hungry. Remember those long lines of cars, miles long, people waiting for just a box of food to be
Market's breaking out really nicely here, guys. There goes Airbnb too. Take a look at Airbnb. Remember that target I was talking to you guys about with that call fly? She's just breaking 148 now. If you guys wanted to look at that call fly we were going over,
4%.
I think she's going to pin right around that 150.
This week, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the so-called
We got a nice
OECD,
breakout here.
which makes up a group includes one of the world's largest economies in its membership, and has been one of the leading bodies analyzing economic growth worldwide and individual nations, increased their projection for U.S. economic growth this year to 6.9% in 2021. That's the fastest pace in nearly 4 decades. In fact, the U.S. is the only major economy where projections of future growth are stronger today than they were before the pandemic hit in 2020. And in May,
Airbnb continues to climb. Anyone pick up that call fly we were going over before?
15 years. Stronger than in 15 years. No other major economy in the world is growing as fast as ours. No other major economy is gaining jobs as quickly as ours. And none of this success is
Nice climb in the markets on his speech here.
It's due in no small part, first of all, the
He's given confidence in the market, confidence in the economy.
effort to get COVID under control, wearing masks and
CIG
getting
Good Capital
vaccinated.
shares were
And
halted
it's
for
no
near
small
$1,000.
part to the bold action we took by passing the American Rescue Plan. The plan provided those resources to get shots in people's arms, underwrite the vaccination effort, enough vaccine supply for every single American, more vaccinators, people will put shots in the arms, and more vaccination sites. And now, 52% of American adults are fully vaccinated. 75% of our seniors are fully vaccinated. And the American Rescue Plan delivered economic benefits directly to the American people. Because of that law, more than 167 million of those rescue payments of up to $1,400 have gone out to individual families. A recent study, the Census Bureau data found just how much these checks matter. They drastically reduced depression, according to the study, anxiety, and hardship for families. More than 40% fewer families struggle to afford food, rent, utility, car payments, student loans, and healthcare expenses. Small businesses and restaurants were getting killed. Now we're delivering loans and support they need to reopen and to stay open. Schools are struggling to reopen, so we made vaccinating teachers a priority. We delivered to schools the much support they needed. State and local governments had to lay off tens of thousands of educators and first responders. Many are now back on the job thanks to the rescue plan. In fact, in May, state and local governments added 103,000 education jobs, returned them to work. These funds are continuing to get out this month to support state and local governments, which will help get more people back to work. Small to medium-sized businesses are now able to take advantage of a special tax credit called the Employee Retention Tax Credit. It provides businesses a generous tax credit to retain or hire more workers. Through our Restaurant Revitalization Fund, we anticipate being able to help over 100,000 hard-hit restaurants stay open or reopen. Beginning next month, most families with children are beginning a tax cut, which will be going to deposit in their accounts.
I think we'll see that retracement down to that 10 before that next breakout here again.
Child care is one of the biggest barriers in the way of parents going back to work. Our administration is delivering $39 billion in child care relief to help child care providers get back on their feet, the providers, and serve more families. And this month,
PayPal's still on the climb here. That's climbing nicely. Take a look at PayPal.
jobs that weren't there last month, in fact, allowing parents to have access to get help.
Had that 1020 cross climbing.
That we enacted, I should say, help people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own, and who still may be in the process of getting vaccinated, but it's going to expire in 90 days. That makes sense.
CIG Good Capital.
To sum it up, look, COVID cases are down. COVID deaths are up. Unemployment
Big Bear
filings are down.
AI to become
Hunger
publicly
is
traded
down.
via merger with Good Capital.
Vaccinations
Or
are up. Jobs are up. wages are up, manufacturing is
That's
up,
GIG.
growth is
Combined
up,
company will be named Big Bear
healthcare
AI.
coverage is up,
Expected to be
and
listed
small
on the
business
NASDAQ.
confidence
That's
is up.
GIG.
America is finally on the move
Shares
again.
were halted ahead of that news.
As we continue this recovery, we're going to hit some bumps along the way.
PayPal's starting another nice breakout here, guys.
Can't reboot the world's largest economy.
We got a trade on PayPal for the July 16th expo there.
Jobs and economic reports, but we're going to be a
It's up
supply chain
nicely
issue,
today.
price pressures on the way back to stability and steady growth. In the coming weeks, my administration is going to take steps to combat these supply constraints, building on the work we're doing on the computer chips. That is, we're providing more computer chips to be manufactured here in the United States.
PayPal's still continuing to break higher there.
Automobiles, for example. Everyone needs to get their shots done. Now's the time to accelerate the process we've been making. Now's the time to build on the foundation we've laid. Because while our progress is undeniable, it is not assured. That's why I propose the American Jobs Plan and the Americans Family Plan for generational investments. We need today. We need to make those investments today to be able to continue to succeed tomorrow. We have a chance to seize on the economic
SRPT, Sarepta, January 174, 175 call please now on Sarepta. SRPT currently at 72.90 RPT.
AMC starting to get a climb again.
We're going to continue to move on. I'm extremely optimistic. I hope you are as well.
PayPal's getting a big breakout there.
God bless America and may God protect our troops. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to be having a talk this afternoon and I'll be able to report you after that.
So guys, take a look. We're up $5,000 today. So there was what we locked in, the $3,238.77. Up $1,984.80 there. Unrealized for the day. And then let's see here. We have that realized gain of $3,238.77 there. So really nice gains here. And we're starting to see that next breakout here again. Airbnb is breaking higher. Should have went with that call fly. We went over it before there. Look at Airbnb continuing to break higher. That's going to have a larger breakout here today, guys. It's looking like we're going to continue to climb here. Markets are looking good. Dow's up 130. Nasdaq's up 174. We are looking good. Apple's getting right up to that 10-day simple moving average, waiting for that to break out. 2 more weeks until that expires, which is plenty of time. Delta wants to start to climb here, hanging out around 46 bucks.
And that the actual paper announcement comes perhaps sometime late this year, and the tapering starts in early 2022. There's obviously some uncertainty around that, but I think that is still the broad time frame that we've been looking for. We haven't made any changes to that.
Yeah, we appreciate you sticking around. True gentlemen.
PayPal's looking good.
Thanks so much. Yeah, Hans from Goldman Sachs. When we come back, big show coming up on Tech Check. We got the chiefs of DocuSign, Asana, and PagerDuty. That's all coming up.
Let's see, NVIDIA,
In the meantime, close to session highs here.
702.
22. Don't go away.
Wealth is your first big investment. Worth is a partner to help share the
It's a
wealth.
nice breakout on NVIDIA.
Wealth is saving a little extra.
Remember when that came up, the news about that stock split they're voting on? That's when we should have picked up something for a month out, 2 months out till Expo.
Worth is knowing why. Principal for all it's worth.
So I just wanted to show you guys, since the week's wrapping up here too, that one trade that we had, the loss on Amazon, took a $24,296 hit on that one right there, as you guys could see. If it wasn't for that, we'd have huge gains this week here. But I made a larger trade on Amazon. Didn't go the way I expected. Took a $24,000 hit on that one there. Carnival Cruise Line spread. This is from this week, 531 to 64 here. CCL, we made about, what, $3,000 on that spread. Express, we made about $1,100. That Ford trade, we made about $3,238. That FI, we bought the shares of, a quick $324. Palantir, that was a quick $424. And then the Uber trade, I ended up closing out for about a $4,400 hit. So that's about $30,000 loss there from Amazon and Uber there. And then we had that Workhorse trade that paid off beautifully. So this is one of the, this is the week that I locked in that Amazon loss there. So I just like showing you guys everything as we go along here. So that was the hit from that Amazon and Uber trade that didn't go our way there. Nvidia still on the climb there. Now what I want to do is find another trade like either Ford or Airbnb there that we could take advantage of for a decent sized trade there.
LPTH, live path hitting new highs now, $3.07, up 32% for LPTH from the Papa Tango Hotel.
There goes Airbnb trying to break that resistance again there, 148.50. No one got into that call fly, that butterfly trade we were going over before. Probably easily got a double on that already. There she goes, 148.59.
ESPI, Papa Sandy Tango India spiking here, Pluralstem Therapeutics. ESPI.
I'm watching AMC because if AMC starts to break out there, we could definitely try to find a day trade on it. But she's really not doing anything just yet. What is Baidu doing here? Baidu, we have the August Expo still holding that 190, up small for the day here. I'm okay with the looks of that. Plenty of time on that trade. Retracement we knew could come back down to that 20. You got base support there at 180. I don't think it's going to come back to that 180 though.
Hearing some newsletter mention on ESPI.
PSDI.
After Sandy Tango India.
PSTI. Something going on with PSTI, guys. If we want to make a day trade on that, there's some news coming out. Let's see, order status, order entry, PSTI. I'll wait for that news, see if it's something worthy to trade. If it is, I'll pick up a quick 1,000 shares.
Yeah, although in this name in particular, I guess AMC Richmond, feel free to disagree. I mean, it does seem to be the
Company was mentioned in a newsletter.
you know, it's just about buy it, keep it pushing, keep pushing it higher, keep pushing it higher. Nobody really discusses fundamentals in any real way, because if you were to do so, you most likely have to make an argument that the stock should be worth a great deal less.
Airbnb still on the climb there.
PSTI, Fluorescent Therapeutics, spiking to a high of $4.18, now at $4. A positive newsletter mentioned by
PSTI. It's still climbing there, huh? What is Workhorse doing? That's got a high short interest again here. It's pulling back. Once buyers step in again, probably at about support either at $12.50 or $10, that's gonna get another one of those big runs, you know, where you saw almost 100% return there in 2 days. We got to keep our eye on that one. What's Bed Bath & Beyond doing? That's on that high short interest as well. Now see, that one pulled all the way from 45 all the way down to 30 at that 10. Now do you see how it even happens with these larger movers here? Had a big breakout and then a pullback. That's why, you know, when you get those big moves, take profits and then re-enter into the trade the next day if it's still climbing. But that had a huge pullback that next day from 45 all the way down to $30. You know, now it's starting to look good again. If you get another green candle above this candle's body today on Monday, you know, that'd be a nice entry to look for another breakout, because that's still on that high short interest, you know, so that's a possibility for a high short squeeze there. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for us today. It's after 11. Nice job locking in those profits on Ford. Ford pulled back since we sold it there, so that's a nice job locking in that. We're going to look for another swing trade this afternoon, and then, of course, we're going to be looking for our day trades this afternoon. I'll see everyone about 2:30. Let's find some good setups for this afternoon. Alrighty, guys, take care. Good job today.